10:03 on Friday morning, Boogie with the Bull, Red Friday morning caffeine. With me today, Randy Rhodes, just simply Randy, and Bill Muckler, the I don't know what the equivalent of the Oscars is, but an award-winning writer of the novel Six Soft Targets in my hand right now. Beautiful six on the cover. And I'm going to start reading that this weekend. And also the two favorite books of mine, which I call the Conservative Patriot Broadcasting Bible. Of course, the 2020 books. 2020, A Clear Vision for America. 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future. Both books are available at 2020americabook.com. Is the novel available on the website, Bill? 2020americabook.com?
No, but people can get it through me, and if somebody wants it, they just need to email me or Facebook me, and I've had several people do that already, and I know who everybody is, and I know what they want, and it's no problem whatsoever. If somebody wants a book, they just need to send me their address. I'll mail it to them. They can figure out how to compensate me later. They can do it on my webpage. I've got ways of doing that, but the guys are redoing my webpage now. They're going to a different not platform, or I don't know what it is, but wherever my page is, they're changing it over to another page, and they're adding on, and I guess it's, and the guy that's doing it has his own IT company, but he kind of does this as a volunteer for me. I'll compensate him some. Yeah. And my son, does it, so I can't really get on these guys. I mean, they're patriots, and they're doing all this stuff to help me. So anyway, as far as getting the book is concerned, I'm down to I've already sold 80% of my first printing.
Cool. Wow. How many copies were in the first printing?
Oh, you don't want to know that.
Okay. Well, Bill has sold 80%, or excuse me, I think he said 80% of the 1 million copies that he has.
Yeah, there you go.
That he has had printed. And like
if I told you only had 10 copies printed, then you'd say, well, that's not many, but it was a lot more than that.
Well, I've been waiting for the novel. I have it here. Like I said, it came in the mail. Came in the mail yesterday. We are sending our donation out. Probably the second or third of May.
I actually went to the post office every day this week, mailing out big batches of copies, and I sent yours and Randy's out on the same day. But I guess my post office sends everything directly to the main post office in Tampa. And I guess from Tampa, it got to you in Florida, but to Randy, it's probably going to have to wind its way through Philadelphia or wherever.
Yeah, it's probably come by way of horse and buggy. I have there's a Christian folks Dixie Southern group. Has a mom, her son, and two daughters, and they play phenomenal music. And she's allowing me to use her music on my broadcast, and she's sent me out her 5 discs that she made. And she asked me if I received them. I said no. And she got all upset because, they're not a big outfit. And it turns out that whatever she did with the address, thankfully, the post office sent them back to her because she says she got them back in the mail. She's going to send them back out to me, FedEx. But yeah, she has it's called Dixie Jubilee. And can you believe that a lot of their businesses is going into churches and singing, Christian music? A lot of churches are refusing them because of the name Dixie and their name. They feel that the word Dixie is racist, so they're denying them business.
Oh,
there goes Bill.
Oh, he did say that there were problems. Hopefully, we will get him back. We will continue along at the moment. And,
so when you start Why don't we start with the short prayer? It's only like 10, 15 seconds to read it. And then by that time, hopefully Bill can come back. Oh, there he is. Hey, he's here twice.
Oh, there he is.
I just disappeared. Lost it.
There he
Had to
is.
sign back in again.
We got you. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
So you want to start off with the prayer, or what we're going to do, and then go into the Bill show?
Yeah, let's. Why don't we do that? Go ahead with the prayer, and then we'll go into Red Friday and talk with Bill. And
so the prayer is called A Prayer for Those in the Armed Forces. Almighty God, we commend to your gracious care and keeping all the men and women of our armed forces at home and abroad. Defend them day by day with your heavenly grace. Strengthen them in their trials and temptations. Give them courage to face the perils which beset them, and grant them a sense of your abiding presence wherever they may be. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
All right. So everybody knows we have Bill Muckler today, which is always a pleasure. We talk about Red Friday. We talk about Bill's books. We talk about Bill. We talk about everything. Matter of fact, we should just call it Friday with Bill.
Okay. And I think anybody that's been watching your show understands now that Red Friday means remember everybody, everyone deployed, and that's to remember and honor and thank our young men and women who are serving in our armed forces overseas. And I kind of expanded that to I'm remembering everybody that's in the armed forces, because they could be just minutes or hours away from being deployed someplace. So we want to make sure that they're all safe and they all remain in our thoughts and prayers. Hey, this week I've been talking about something that has been bothering me for, well, I don't know how many decades, but let's just say at least the last 30 years. And it's something I've been soundly criticized for, but apparently now people are starting to understand what I was talking about when I said Marxism marches on. And I think we're seeing it in our streets today, or maybe not in the streets, on the campus today. Marxism marching on. And what this really boils down to, Marxism, if you really want to get away from all the extraneous BS, it really is there are oppressed people who are oppressed by the oppressors. And so Marxism is going to change that and make everybody the same. Does that sound like diversity, equity, and inclusion? You bet. Does that sound like what's going on the campuses today? Only today they're talking about Hamas. And they say, well, we're pro-Hamas. No, you're Hamas or you're not Hamas. There's no for them. You either are them or you're not them. And this whole thing, we've been allowing Marxism to march on through America. Back in 1957, September 57, if I've got this right, there were protests going on in Little Rock, Arkansas about the civil rights movement, and they were protesting that children of color could not go to school. And that was handled almost overnight by, guess who? President Dwight Eisenhower sent the 101st Airborne in, and they cleared it up, and there were no more riots, no more protests, no more whatever they were doing. This is all done because it's being allowed to be done. And when I say Marxism marches on, in my second book, I really laid this out so anybody can understand it. Anybody can read it and figure it out in a heartbeat. I'll start back around 1930 and it was a Frankfurt project, I believe it was called, in Europe, and it was the Marxists from Russia trying to infiltrate the rest of Europe and the Netherlands and France and Germany. And that eventually worked its way to the United States. And where did the Marxists go to gain their foothold and to spread their ideology? The college campuses. And where's the first one they went to? You'll never believe this, but it was the one in New York, upper New York City, called Columbia University. Columbia University has been a bastion of Marxism for 100 years, more than 100 years. Does this surprise anybody? And so now people are starting to wake up and see this. And I've been saying, why wouldn't you listen to me all these years when I've been telling you all this stuff has been going on? They've been working on it all along. They've been developing it all along. They've been promoting it all along. And now we see Marxism taking hold in America, because that's where America is heading. They want us to change from being a constitutional republic to a communist, Marxist, socialist state, whatever they want to call it. It's all the same. It's the oppressed being oppressed by the oppressors. By the way, Dave, I noticed that you have a puppy. I heard her bark in the background. Did you guys see where now the wokers have decided that we got to get rid of dogs because dogs are a symbol of racism? So, Dave, having a puppy means you're not a racist, but what they call them is colonial settlers, which is their way of saying that you got to get rid of your dogs. And so they want everybody in America to get rid of their dogs because the dogs are taking up space that the humans could be sharing, because the people who don't have dogs are oppressed. And the people who have dogs are the rich white supremacists. Now, maybe you're a person of color and you have a dog, but that's just on the outside. You're really a white supremacist, and you're an oppressor. And anyway, I've been trying to figure out where does all this start? And apparently there's a lot of think tanks in America today where they do nothing but dream up these ideas. They're the ones that dreamed up this DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. I mean, they were talking about, but they actually put it in words. That's what they do. Now, on the college campuses, and let me tell you, back I guess about 10 years ago, I asked the question. I said, why is it that every time I see videos of ISIS, they're all driving the same identical white Toyota pickup trucks, and it's not a white Toyota pickup truck that's available in America. It's a model that's only available out of Japan for Asia and Europe and so forth. Somebody is behind all this. Why? So I look at all.
I turned my mic off and forgot to turn it back on before I started speaking. Bill said he was having internet problems. There he is. He is back.
I had to sign back in. I'm sorry about that, guys. Anyway,
no problem.
What I was about to say was, if you look at what's happening in America today, you see these protests, these riots, whatever you want to call them, on the college campuses, and they all have these tents out there. And all the tents are identical. Even most of them are even the same color. Where did they come up with all the money to buy all these tents? And then if you look at the signs they're holding up, they're all professionally done. They're all, you can get them at places like Office Depot. I bought a couple of banners when I first published my first book at Office Depot. It's like $80. These signs, I'm sure, aren't $80, but all of a sudden they just show up, and I saw a video of it. They come up, they drop the signs off in the middle of the road, big stack of them. Everybody comes and grabs their sign. They're all professionally printed. Who's behind all this? Well, I got news for you, Dave. Randy, breaking news. No, forget this. Breaking news on your show. The first time you're hearing it, it's the AMP. The AMP. So you might say, who is the AMP? It's a organization kind of that operates below the radar, that gathers in tons of money from all sorts of Marxist places, is fanatic Islamists and everything. And the AMP is the Americans for Muslims, American Muslims for Palestine. AMP, American Muslims for Palestine. Does this surprise anybody? But you heard it first on this show, Dave. You got breaking news here. Now you know who's paying for all those tents and all those signs, and who's paying the transportation to bring all these people in. Because I don't know the percentage, but let's just say it's probably somewhere about half and half. About half of them are misled college students, and the other half are paid disruptors, protesters, disruptors, rioters, thugs, whatever you want to call them. They're paid to do this. It's the same deal as when Black Lives Matter was involved and Antifa. These are basically the same thugs. They're career protesters, career rioters, and they aren't here to bring America first. I can tell you that. They want to see Marxism march on. Marxism march into America. That's my show for the day, Dave.
Okay, well, hang on a second. Go ahead, Randy.
If I'm not mistaken, when President Trump was in office and the colleges started doing their bullshit, left-wing liberal folk, anti-Israel stuff, actions, the ones that receive federal money had the money taken away from them as a form of punishment. So if you want our money, you got to toe the line and kick these people out and stop doing this. So I'm pretty sure that's what he did. But what's happening now is that these universities are no longer afraid of losing any kind of money, because we have an idiot in the White House who is actually supporting these actions. And you're right. We send our children to school, high school, from kindergarten to 12th grade, to learn about things about our country, things that are going to help them survive after the parents are gone. And we lost track of what the teachers are teaching toward these last few years. We just, kind of like washed them away. Here, kids, the school is yours. Do whatever you want to do. And that's when they start to indoctrinate your children. And then when they decide to go off to college, it just gets worse. The only way to is to shut down the universities and colleges. They're teaching hatred of your country. They're what they're doing. They shouldn't be in the process of teaching our kids to hate our nation, to eventually go against us in combat.
Hey, Bill, does the Department of Education or the Department of Indoctrination, as you like to call them. Do colleges and universities answer to them, or are they only the grades before you get to college?
No, colleges like universities like the Ivy League schools like Columbia are private universities, but
Okay.
they receive federal grant money, just like a lot of state universities. I went to University of Missouri. It's a state university. It's run and owned by the state of Missouri, but they receive federal grants, they receive state grants, etc. Let me go back to the 1930s so I can connect the dots on this. In the 1930s, the whole idea of this Frankfurt Project was to sow the seeds of Marxism in the colleges, in the universities, in the professors. So those professors then became the Marxists who started teaching the students who became the professors in the 60s when we had the explosion in the 60s of Marxism on our streets. We had all of the rioting and everything. And so they got their foothold. Now, the government came up with student loans. Now, if you think of student loans is what made the universities cost so much and tenured all these professors who are Marxism. So now these Marxist professors have been kind of cloning themselves with their new students and new professors. And so now we've gotten to a point where the universities are totally paid for by either endowments from Marxists or from our federal government grants to keep these Marxist professors who have taken over the university. So all the universities in America today are filled with these Marxist professors that all started out back in the 30s. And, little by little, they took over, and now they have complete control. Does it surprise anybody that student loans has helped to tenure these professors and cause college education? When I went to college, it cost $1,000 a year. Now at Mizzou, it probably costs $30,000 to $40,000 a year. They say in Columbia it costs $66,000 a year. It didn't cost that much. It cost a few thousand a year back when I went to school. Why does it cost so much more to go to college now? Because the government gives student loans, so the government is paying the students, Dave,
Yep.
to go to school, and the students then.
Oh, we lost Bill. Lost Bill for a second there. I was going to ask him a question. Does the resident in chief or dementia in chief, and you can take that and make an abbreviation out of it, but does the DIC understand that if he says you don't have to pay your student loans, Bill should be back with us in a second. There he is. But if you don't have to pay your student loans back, does that mean that those schools aren't going to get that money? Well, I guess the schools already got that money. I mean, that whole thing is just a mess with me. But go ahead, Bill. I'm glad you were able to make it back.
Real quick on a spin off of your question for him. If he does finally, and I love your acronym, you said DIC, that's Dick, perfect form. If he succeeds in saying to the students, you do not have to worry about paying back your student loans, does that mean that everybody prior to them who paid their student loans get a rebate?
I'm sure it doesn't. We lost Bill. He'll be right back with us. Apologize again. He said that he's had internet problems all week, so he warned us before that this might happen. But I'm sure. Well, actually, it's 10:28. He may not pop back because normally he goes for the Bill Muckler show, which is Monday through Friday on the Bill Muckler Facebook profile and in the Bill Muckler show group. So he may not come back. It's 10:30, but we bring him in every Friday because we want to hear his take, like to review what he's done on the Bill Muckler Show, because not everybody can catch something at 11 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday. And
so correct me.
he can't get back on, so he's going to probably go and prepare for the Bill Muckler Show. So like I said, when we end at 11 o'clock, or even if we don't end at 11 o'clock, because Randy wants to go later, which does happen sometimes, but either way, at 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday, go to the Bill Muckler Facebook profile and watch the Bill Muckler Show. Take it, share it all over Facebook that you can, and get your friends to watch it too. Really good guy. Really, really good guy. As we said, we'll plug the books one more time. 6 Soft Targets is the long-awaited novel from Bill, as well as the Conservative Patriot Broadcasting Bibles, as I call them. 2020, A Clear Vision for America. 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future. The books were available from 2020americabook.com. Bill says that website is being upgraded and updated, so you can message Bill on Facebook Messenger. Go to Bill's profile and click message and send him a message. Give him your address, and he'll send the books to you. He is asking for donations. I guess originally the books, the 2020 books, were $25 for the set, two hardbound books. I believe he was going to ask $25 also for the novel. But when you get the books from him, mail him something back. I would, if you ask for the books, the hardbound books, send him the $25. If you ask for the novel, send him the $25. Very smart guy, still working at 89 years old, and telling it true, telling it strong, telling it right. And a pleasure to have him here with us Monday through Friday. Go ahead, Randy.
I don't say now. Is his rank that of a captain or a colonel?
Captain
in the Marines. That says a lot for a man's character as well.
Right.
I was very happy and pleased to see that the trial yesterday with President Trump is making those on the left look even more stupid. As it turns out, Trump's people have access to evidence that says that President Trump never knew anything about the payoff to the Jezebel, and that he was never a part of the agreement. That instead, this other individual who the left was going to use against him was actually the person who was paying her. So he came out of that looking like
Michael Cohen went to jail for lying.
Yeah, he did.
About that. He was at the time the Trump attorney who evidently brokered the payment. And I guess rumor has it that he expected Trump to pay him back. And again, I guess the controversy is that apparently now you said there are people that are stepping up to the plate and saying that Trump never knew anything about the payment.
Yeah.
And Stormy is acting like she didn't want the payment anyway. She didn't want it discussed in public. At some point somewhere there was a non-disclosure agreement. And I don't know who signed it, but evidently Donald Trump's signature, I believe, is on the non-disclosure agreement. But again, that doesn't mean anything. Did Michael Cohen perjure himself, forge Trump's name, and but again, he went to prison for it. Trump trials and indictments are a very sore subject for me right now, because family is the most important thing that you have in this world right now. And for a father who is dealing with a court trial, being told you can't go to your son's high school graduation, I'm not going to allow you to leave the state. You have to stay in New York. I'm not going to allow you to leave the state. And then for a judge of a lower court to have the audacity to think that they can tell the 9 justices that make up the Supreme Court, I'm not letting him leave New York to go to the Supreme Court for an immunity hearing. Judge Merchan, as far as I'm concerned, has proven that he should have recused himself from that trial. He should be disciplined for running his court the way he did. I don't know if you disbar him and don't ever let him be a judge again. Don't let him be a lawyer again. I don't really know what you do. But these DAs and judges who think just because they're Democrats or the Democrats are in control of the Justice Department and these Trump trials, you're not above the law. You're not above the law. You enforce the law, but you're not above the law.
I wonder how much Trump has spent thus far on lawyer fees.
I don't know. Evidently, speaking of Trump lawyers, I read that Sidney Powell, evidently, I don't know if it was dismissed or if she was found innocent, but it's gone away. It's not going to happen. And it appears she was not found guilty or it was just dismissed. Like I said, I have to go look at that. But, I
can just imagine, Trump at the end of all this bullshit going on for him. The Trump trials, the miniseries, stay tuned, there's enough documentation to make one hell of a, Netflix or a HBO kind of a documentary.
Oh, no. You can't. Well, I don't know. The interesting thing about Netflix is that you got to forget that the Obama brothers, Michael and Barack.
Yeah, they own it.
They don't own it, but they're one of the largest team of executive producers at Netflix. So it would be very interesting should it go to Netflix. If anything, I think he would actually shoot the video and post it on Truth Social.
Yeah. I mean, I have Truth Social on my phone. I'll be very honest with you. I don't even remember my password is. That's
you can change it.
I mean, is it worth? I mean, almost everything when he first came out with it, almost everything I saw there was just a copy paste from X, or at that point it was Twitter.
It was right. If you remember, you can post on it just like you can share from everywhere else. But all of the conservative big guys, Bongino and Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk, all of those big guys are over there. Big guys, Candace Owens, are over there posting. It is what it is. It's a conservative alternative to Facebook, and you're not treated like you are on Facebook.
I guess I'm not making my point clear. Why would I want to go to Truth Social just to read almost the exact same stuff that I'm going to find on Twitter? I mean, they almost are identical.
Why do you go to Facebook then? Because a lot of people on Facebook share from both Truth Social and X. I share on X. Matter of fact, we're live on X right now. Speaking of X, we're live on X right now. Go to the at Boogie WT Bull, my Boogie with the Bull profile on Twitter, and we're live on Twitter right now. But they're all going to have pretty much the same thing because everybody doesn't use just one except Facebook. Facebook believes that if you're on Facebook, you only use Facebook. You might use Instagram, you might use WhatsApp, but you only use the Meta platform. You don't go anywhere else.
I would use Facebook a lot more for my live broadcast, but their platform, unless I haven't figured it out yet, it's stupid. Because I want to be able to share a screen. So when you first, sign in, here's my camera, here's my video, here's my topic, blah blah blah. Then it has the link, so share screen. So when you click on share screen, okay, now I can share my screen, but I can't get back to where I was, so it's just me. And eventually it kicks me out. It's a pain in the butt. I would love to use it as opposed to StreamYard, but it doesn't work.
What is supposed to happen, or what was always in the talks, was that there would be a live stream partnership between Rumble and Truth Social that would bring Rumble live streams over to Truth Social. But no one seems to know. It's a very expensive part of having a social media platform. It can be anywhere as high as $300 million to buy the live stream servers that you need and get them up and running. So not everybody has them. But from what I understand, at some point, Rumble is supposed to become the live stream partner for Truth Social. But then again, I've been telling you that for over a year now, and it hasn't yet happened.
The conversation we had earlier, that what Bill was saying about the tents and the placard stuff that's made by the pro-Muslim, whatever. Anyways, those Muslim people. I saw the video he's talking about, and it's you see them jump out of this bus, they grab their stuff, they run into to the campus, the common area, and they practice it. They run there, they throw their shit down, they got their tent framed out, and they're there, and it's like boom, their tents are up, they claim their territory. Yeah. It's like holy shit, who the hell is teaching them military style?
I'm sure they taught it themselves. ISIS was rumored to have one of the best media arms, in-house media units of anyone that they produced the videos of the people in the cages being lowered into water and supposedly drowning. No one knows for sure if they actually did drown, or the ones where they were outside of the cages on fire or dropped the cage into the fire. No one knows for sure whether or not they actually died. The beheadings, there is proof that some of the beheadings happened, but then again, saying that some of them did happen, or how lifelike can Hollywood make a dummy and then cut its head off, or how lifelike can Kathy Griffin find a severed head of Donald Trump and carry it around on stage, and obviously it's not his real head.
Right. Yeah, I hope not.
Well, she's on social media now complaining that she is just about bankrupt.
Good.
And that's what people. That's my response to her. You did something that even your fans who bought tickets and went to your shows thought was kind of pushing it a little. But I'm waiting for Trump to have a severed head of Kathy Griffin and go walking around the stage ranting about this. Then all of a sudden raise his pant leg and you see a beautiful Trump tennis shoe and he kicks it out into the audience.
I mean, it's like that one play that eventually got shut down, but it portrayed Trump being assassinated, and it was so real, so realistic. Initially, the people loved it, but then there was enough of an outcry that they actually shut down the play. But
yeah,
where is the lines of you don't just? I mean, back in the day when I was younger, you didn't say stuff against the president, otherwise you wind up in freaking jail.
Well, she got visited at least once by the Secret Service, and they were watching. They were watching her. But she, you can trash talk the president of the United States. I mean, look at George Carlin. He made a career out of it. Out of trash talking a lot of presidents and people in government. But
back then,
the
trash talk was funny.
There is a fine line between doing your job, which is to entertain people, and going over the line to do your job to entertain people.
I mean, look at all the award shows. How not one of them can come out on stage, thank the producer, thank the writers, thank the fans, take your damn statue and get the hell off the stage. They got to take their 30 seconds, 60 seconds to bash the president, MAGA, and bash his family, and it's like this fun.
But before that, if you got an award back in the older days, back when we were kids growing up and you were watching, if you took more than the time that was allotted to you, they would just cut to the next camera, because that if you watched them in the control room, all it is a live producer sitting in front of a screen that has all the cameras on it. And he or she is watching, and all of their shots are, they know which camera they're going to go to next. So if Randy Rhodes starts trash talking DIC about something, and you have, they either don't want it broadcast or don't want you, they don't want it. Yeah, they don't want it. They just click to the next camera and go over to it, because again, like I said, they only get so much time, because they're only buying so much time. Yeah. If they run late and the network has another show on and they go late, sometimes they'll just stay and go with it, but they do have the right to cut to the end that broadcast and go on to whatever the next thing is. But here or there, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
since we're the no budget broadcasting company, we can't afford to pay anybody who would say, Dave, you've talked enough, turn my mic off and go to Randy.
No, but I never would have thought in my lifetime that I'd be reading books or watching video on TV or on online showing the decay of our country, our government, our schools. But to still be alive and seeing what's going on, it sickens me. I actually was very sick the past couple of days, very, very sick. And
you were missed.
And thank you. And I had this damn realistic live ass nightmare. It was the end of the world. And this is no lie. I was locked in terror in my dream. I couldn't wake up. And it was the end of the world. And it was my wife, my daughter, myself, and some of our pets. And we were living in my mom's house. She was passed. But these lightning bolts were coming down out of the sky. They're almost like columns of light. And they're just destroying house after house. And they're getting closer and closer to my house. And I'm struggling to get to my wife, to get to her, to get to my daughter, trying to save some pets before it actually hit our house. But it took several layers of my coming awake to I finally was conscious to realize it was just one hellacious bad dream. But that's where we're headed. We're headed towards the end of this nation as we know it. The left has control of our schools, going down to the kindergarten, nursery school. I mean, they got control of the churches, the religion. They got control of the politics, the people who make the laws. If we lose, and I hate to say it, I really do think we're going to lose November, this country, as we know, is going to be flying a different flag and marching to a different tune. I see it happening because they've brainwashed the next generations, and they're the ones who are going to be telling the old folks how they'll live.
Well, I'm starting to warm up to part of what I have affectionately called the Rhodes. The Rhodes. I forget the last word, but I always called it. But basically, the Rhodes point of view. I did have a fancy, funny word that I used to describe it, but which has always been, they told us what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, and then they went ahead and did it right in front of our eyes, and we didn't do anything. You have to incorporate that into my philosophy that if Trump won in 2016, the Democrats immediately went to work. They had 4 years on how to defeat him, whether or not legally or just defeat him in 2020. And they did. And they immediately went to work in 2020 to make sure they were going to be able to reelect him or a Democrat in 2024. So they have probably already had a computer run every scenario and done all the analysis to understand what they have to do, and which includes bringing in 50 million illegal immigrants, busing them all over sanctuary states, setting them up, getting them driver's license, social security cards so they can vote, and then hoping if all of a sudden there's 50 million more votes out there, maybe Biden will win. But I'm hoping that if there are 50 more million votes out there and those people understand that life sucks pretty bad right now. Once they become citizens, and if they want to see any way of a better life here in America, they got to vote red.
All right. Good. Sorry, I just got excited. I saw I'm looking for news. I just saw one of my TV series got renewed. You know what pisses me off? This is a segue into a different topic, but I apologize, but that's the way my mind works.
You're right.
Then we'll get back to what we're talking about.
That's the fun of this broadcast. We learned that format at we can't talk about it university. And that's what they did, and it worked. It works great in the morning. Just whatever comes out of our mouth at the beginning, then we just do a show around it.
Yeah, I was watching Don Bongino, so I want to talk about him. But you know what pisses me off? Hollywood comes out every once in a while. They come out with a wonderful TV series that have phenomenal characters. The personalities are someone you can take hold of and bring into your house and so forth. And one of the programs was SWAT, and SWAT was set to be canceled. Okay, and then the fans got all pissy, right? And they said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If so and so and so and so and so and so takes a cut in pay, we'll bring it back." So that's what they did. The main actors took a cut in pay. And then it's okay, you got renewed. Then they come back and say, "No, sorry, we made a mistake. You're still going to be canceled after the season. And this is how we're going to close out the season. We're going to kill off one of the main actors. We're going to have the other one retire from the police force. And this is how life's going to be." And then it's down the series. And then the fans jumped on board and goes, "Hey, what the hell's going on? We want the show saved." So they saved it. So the one guy who was going to retire is not going to retire. And I'm just wondering if the one guy they killed off, if they could say, "Oh, you know what? He really wasn't dead. We're going to bring him back." I like that guy. But anyways, so Don Bongino, I don't often watch him. I'm going to make it a habit now watching him every day. He said that the Democrats know they don't stand a lick shit in hell of winning the 2024 election. They already have plans to create a fake event that's going to take place in the next couple of months, and it's going to be one that they can all of a sudden create like 150 new laws that Biden can without having going to Congress, without taking a vote on it, he can say, boom, this is what's going to happen and make it law. It's like 150 new laws that are going to keep him in office, because it's going to be making use of similar to a pandemic bioweapon attack on our country. So they're going to fake this event. They're going to allow him to create these new laws that keeps him in office beyond 2024. He said, "People, watch out for it. It's going to happen. I guarantee it. I know the players, and it is going to happen." And I want to tell you what, that's scary. That's scary that our government is that so destructive of our country and our way of life and our laws that they are willing to do that. But it was, I think it was yesterday, the day before a show, I watched it. Look for it. I'm sure he's going to keep talking about it, but he says it's going to happen. He knows the players, and he knows it's a real thing.
Yep. Did they? I heard that they ended Blue Bloods finally.
Yes.
I have not seen the last episode of it.
It hasn't aired yet, and that's bullshit too.
But
they're going to end it. So the Blue Bloods people say, you know what? We'll take pays and cuts. So they did the exact same thing with SWAT. They took pays and cuts, cuts and pays, and they got rid of a couple main players. But they still decided, they're going to end it. And you know why? I bet you $100 why. That's because it was one of the very few shows that are still ultra conservative, ultra family, ultra religious. Yeah. And there's no wokeness there. There's no gays and lesbians going on. It is the true blue of our nation. And I bet you $100, that is the reason why they're cutting it, because they refuse to do that. Every episode that has their Sunday sit down to a Catholic meal, doing the cross thing for the prayers. It's just to show respect for the family and one another. And even though the fans want it, the producers say no. We're going to cancel it. Yeah. That's bullshit.
And
but I don't.
They were only giving him 1-year contracts instead of 2-year contracts like they were giving everybody else. I always figured that if they killed him off, the only thing that could happen is that his father, who was a police commissioner before him, came back. Or at least came back until they brought somebody else in, because his sons and daughter-in-law, who are police officers, aren't probably qualified to be police commissioner. His daughter, who's the DA, isn't gonna leave that job to become police commissioner. She's probably not qualified either, but so. It would be, my belief has always been that if you're going to get rid of him, you might as well end the show. However you want to end it, you might as well end it, or just have an episode that is a cliffhanger ending that you don't know what happened, and then you recast someone else to be him. But whatever you do, don't bring Tom Hanks in as the new police commissioner.
Tom
Actually,
Hanks.
It wasn't Tom Hanks that I'm thinking of. It was the guy that worked with Jim Belushi and the Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, maybe bring Dan Aykroyd in, because I could see him made up to look like Jack Webb and from Dragnet and be the police commissioner. But I don't know. I think TV right now is overrated, because most people, I think, don't really watch network TV anymore. They live stream, and they only watch what they want to watch. They only live stream what they want to watch. But go ahead.
I'm just thinking, here in the prime of my life, one thing I do with my genealogy is I find so many unique things about people's family. And I think for the most part, 90% of my clients are very pleased with what I find now about their family. And and it brings closure. But here in my own family, I have a son and his wife and 3 grandsons who live 5 minutes from where I live, and there's no connection there. It's lost. And there's some personal reasons why I know some of it is there, and some of it was because of my Confederate flag that I now have taken off my wall.
Don't go there.
But it's a shame that I do so much for so many people's families, and here my own family is a mess, and there's nothing I can do to fix it. When I was growing up, when I was first married, we were taught respect for our parents. So if you call your mom and dad up every day, mostly your mom, you're always going to call your mom, and you talk to your mom for 10, 15 minutes just to make sure that she's still alive and so forth, and that you're okay and she's okay, and they say goodbye. Or you might stop by for a short visit, and she'll get out some, snacks, and you'll sit there longer than you want to, and you're eating potato chips, potato salad, coleslaw, blah, blah, and next thing you know, you're 10 pounds heavier. But, that's the way it was.
Then move back into your bedroom.
No, I never done. I never moved back home.
Except you're paying your father rent.
One thing was when I did have a job, my dad only made me pay $20 a week, which was dirt cheap back then. Okay, but so here I am in the same age as what they were when my parents expected me to do this, and that. So it's sort of like, okay, I don't mention my son's name, but okay, so-and-so, you want to stop, you just stop by to visit. Just pay a short visit, making sure that we're still alive. We're not laying dead with cobwebs growing over us and spiders eating our eyeballs out. Just stop by and say hi. Hey, we have to be in the grocery store. They got 2-for-1 cake going on. We bought you a cake. Just the simple things. And that's what I try to show when I learn things about my family. And again, that bloodline. You see, the bloodlines are very boring, right? It's just your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather. Now, great grandfather, he probably was fought in one of the wars, so he might have had some excitement there. Depending on what side of the coin you want to throw him on. And you get great grandfather and great grandfather. Now, he might be in the French Indian War, so it's like getting a little more interesting. You see where I'm going, and then you have your branches coming off of that. And that's where your family is so excited. And to me, that's excitement. But for most of my clients, it's like, well, that's not bloodline. No, it's not bloodline. I can't make things happen. But look, you're related to the Ingalls of Little House on the Prairie. Look, you're related to General Lee. Yeah, this huge long lineage going down to you. But a little bit away, you're related. It's getting excited. You're like, no, it's not bloodline. Okay, it's not bloodline. Okay, I can't make it happen for you folks. But I do. I can't find things like I found some people's were adopted, and I found their biological parents, which was pretty cool. Because people who put their kids up for adoption, and they close the book. Oh, you cannot find me ever again. Go, son. Be good. But at some point in life, you do something stupid that puts you back into the limelight of the public eye. And I found you. Yeah, and that's what happens.
Well, just remember, family is the most important thing, because without family, you wouldn't know anyone on the internet.
There you go. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So what was your very first job when you were growing up?
Oh God, my very first job when
very first to where you were getting a paycheck.
It had to be something in high school. It had to be something in high school, because I had summer jobs through high school, and you had to have a Social Security card. And for reasons that I don't know, I didn't get mine. back when I was born. So it was probably Photomat working in one of those.
Oh, yeah.
One of those original Photomat booths, and then
Yeah.
Then they
right scheduled a parking lot
yeah,
in your Target
then they scheduled me in a bunch of them in the same district or zone, whatever they called it, because the district manager was going to leave, and she wanted to train me to replace her, and she had, but then she left, and they didn't replace me with her, so I left and went someplace else. So yeah, Photomat was my first. My
very first job was in 9th grade. Yeah, which is
a long time ago.
No, that was the 9th grade.
Okay.
I was working for a restaurant called the Golden Dipper. No, actually, first started out at the Nestville Quality Shop. It was owned by a brother and sister. They're in their years, and to be honest with you, I think they're a little bit more than brother and sister. If you get my drift, they just seem really close.
This is a family show.
Yeah, I know. so they hired me as their dishwasher, and which is fine. And they had a dishwasher machine. You know, the pots and pans are cleaned by hand. Blah 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 blah. It's making $7.50 an hour. More than I'm making now as a genealogist. How about that? I realized that. So, anyways, they paid me $7.
That's not saying much, is it?
They paid me $7.50 an hour as their dishwasher. Eventually, I became a short order cook, and then eventually became a cook, line cook, and I loved it. And then they finally decided, enough was enough. And they sold it to this health insurance guy and his family, and the name changed to the Golden Dipper, and he kept me on, but he envisioned himself as being this great cook, and all he was a dad who cooked at home, and he brought his skills to the restaurant. So I stayed on for a while longer. They had a lady there. Her name was Hazel. She was their primary prep for different types of food that they served, that's made by hand. And a lot of stuff was made by scratch. I will say that. But the original owner, the brother, he would be at this big grill, making whatever, right? With this sugar in his mouth, huh? You're getting cigarette ashes on the food. That's okay. Don't never know it. Let's go. Oh my God, you're gross. But it was fun, and I tried making out with the one waitress, but she was older than I was, so she had no interest in me.
Hey, this is a family show.
Yeah, but it was a fun time. So then obviously, eventually I made it to working. I wanted to go to college to be a restaurant manager, a hotel manager. So I got this job working at the Hotel Brunswick in Lancaster County. Okay, and
that sounds like one of those special hotels.
No. It was a hotel, multi-story hotel, and it had 2 restaurants: regular dining and gourmet dining. And I was a gourmet waiter, making the food at the table side and do all kind of stuff, making good money. But eventually, the kind of things happened. The company changed hands, and then we got a couple of these working next to us. And I was saying to my manager, "Hey, this guy's making moves on me." He said, "What do you mean?" "Well, he's asking back to his apartment, and he's putting moves on me. He's touching my body." Well, his response back was, "Well, Randy, you may like it. Try it." And I was right. You know what? Randy's quitting.
Aren't you justified by saying to someone who is touching your body inappropriately that you might like how you're touching my body, but you may not like how I will touch your body in my own defense?
Yeah. That's a good response back.
And
yeah.
Now that you soured what I was going to say, as I acknowledge 2 people who are watching, Bonnie Johnson and Susanna Cardo, who are going to be on the recap broadcast of talking about trafficked children and adults. And we're going to do it next Tuesday, April 30th, 7 p.m. on the Dave Glovin Facebook profile on Facebook, Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, at Boogie WT Bull on X, and on my profile on Streetlock, STREETLOC.com. We will be talking about trafficked children, adults, that whole, for lack of putting it better, that whole world of bad stuff that you need to know about, and we hope that one day we can bring to an end. Bonnie Johnson will be with us. Susanna Cardo will be with us. Both were with us 2 weeks ago when we talked about it, and we're just doing a follow-up. Anyone watching, if you have been trafficked in any way during your life and you want to be on a panel discussion talking about it, you are more than welcome to message me and let me know. And to the best of my knowledge right now, there are 3 camera slots available for people who want to be on the broadcast. If anybody wants to come on and talk about their situations, and we mean we're just doing our part to help get information out there, and maybe one day we can watch this thing not happen anymore. Go ahead, Randy.
The absolute sickening thing about this whole thing about the traffic and so forth is that our government makes up for 85-90% of the damn trafficking.
Yeah, they do.
And so how does a person like this lady and others like her hope to succeed and bring into an end, the sex trafficking market when our government is behind it, and they're probably profiting from it, simply with having, one of the first places that I think the sex trafficking can come to a screeching decrease in numbers is to shut the damn border, not just the land border, but the air border. I was shocked when I found out a few weeks ago that the damn Democrats are flying them over the border since they can't make it across on the ground level.
Well, I don't know if they can't make it through underground tunnels that may or may not exist between the United States and Mexico. The person that would know the status of the tunnels is Bonnie Johnson, and Bonnie, who has been a trafficked individual herself, who has escaped and gotten her life going again, and working as a humanitarian aid. She's to help people.
Oh, wow.
She is the creator of what Facebook calls Facebook premeditated social media. And what Facebook means by it is they have taken every kind of person there is on the planet and allocated some part of Facebook for them. What Bonnie means with it is that this tool allows Facebook to go in and find bad people on Facebook in the deep, dark dungeons that they may be hiding in, and get them off of Facebook, and in some cases, get them off of the internet completely.
Well, I thought Muckler, not Muckler.
That's Captain Muckler to you.
Yeah. No, I thought Jeff, the owner of Facebook.
No, that's Mark Zuckerberg. Jeff Bezos is the owner of Amazon.
Yeah. So, anyways,
the biggest competitor to Temu and the other one.
But isn't he being accused of allowing pages on Facebook?
Zuckerberg.
To traffic children.
So I'm sure he's claiming that he is not aware of that's what they're doing. It would be very tough for me to be a representative or a senator sitting through a committee hearing where he would claim, oh, I didn't know that this was going on. I didn't know that these people were on Facebook. I would have booted them off if I did, because I would, and it doesn't matter whether I'm a Republican member of either the House or the Senate, I would just be saying, Mr. Zuckerberg, that's complete 100% BS, and you know about it. Because what people don't understand is Facebook is the largest advertising agency on the planet. That's all it is here for. If all they did was run ads, no one would come here. So they come here and create broadcasts like we do, groups like we have, pages, profiles like we have, and whatever. There is a dark side to Messenger group chats. And if you don't believe me, the next time you are on Messenger, I think one tab is comments and the other one is home, I think. Click on, or it's chats, I don't know, but click on one of them and it will open up all of these Messenger groups that you don't even know you're a member of. And they are not things that you want to be in discussing. And it takes, you will never erase, you will never delete yourself or never remove yourself and delete yourself from all of them, because as soon as you do, more show up again. And I know Facebook has to know that that's going on, because they watch everybody. So they know everything that you do on Facebook. So I don't buy that they don't know, they're not aware of what is going on. Because like Facebook, they're not aware that they're aware of the fact that they're breaking all of the rules they can, because Zuckerberg's original comments in hearings has been, we're the largest. So we're the largest, and that's why we do it.
Yeah, and it's bullshit for him to say he doesn't know what's going on, because the other day I was in the process of typing a comment to attach to a post, and I forget what the post was anymore, but there was a couple words that, I probably should have reworded, but I left them in there. And as I was getting ready to hit post, it says, do you really want to post this? This post goes against our blah, 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 blah. And if you do this, we're going to do this. So how in the hell did you even know I was getting ready to post that?
Because
unless you're watching me as I type.
They're watching you is going to get much easier for them, because Meta AI knows everything. You can't even really do a search on Facebook now without arguing with Meta AI about what you want. I put in somebody's name in the live chat because I wanted to look something up. The results that I got was, do you mean Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the actor, or do you mean this other Jonathan Thomas, who I think was a football player, or this and that? Then I finally typed in Meta AI, turn yourself off. I can't do that. 2001 Space Odyssey, when Dave said, Hal, turn yourself off. And Hal said, Dave, I can't do that.
It's getting too smart.
Right. So the AIs know everything that is going on, because there's very little human involvement in the actual what you see when you log on to to Facebook. It's actually run by a bunch of AIs in the background, and they're constantly watching you, and they know. I can't go in. We have like 9 groups between the whole family. Some are mine, some are this one's, some are this one's, and some are just groups that I'm an admin of. And if I go into any one of those groups and I comment, welcome to the group, on a new member's welcome, I get a 1-hour restriction for doing that. And if I try to edit it so I can take out whatever words trigger the 1 hour restriction, I get a restriction just for that. But anyway, I always say we're not going to waste a lot of time trash talking Facebook, because now Facebook is not the only place that we are on. We're on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and I trash them just as bad as I trash Facebook. We are on my X profile at Boogie WT Bull. We're live there. We're live from YouTube on Streetlock on the Dave Glovin profile over there. We are going to add Rumble. As I said to you in the notes before the show, Randy, we are going to we're going to answer Rumble. I had you write Rumble customer support to ask some questions. And then I responded back to that. What do I do to be able to set up live streaming? And they sent me the answer. I have to upgrade to a paid Rumble account. And they gave me a whole list of all of them.
Yes, well, I gotta get going.
All right.
It's great being here.
I'm very glad you are here. I'm glad you're feeling better. I hope you
stay better.
And remember, you have no deductible on your Boogie.
I know.
No deductible on your
I appreciate
no budget broadcasting company healthcare policy because you don't have one.
Oh, then that medicine I got yesterday I should have paid for?
Oh, only paid employees of the no budget broadcasting company, which there are none of, get free healthcare.
I am going.
All right. Randy Rhodes from Just Simply Randy. That should be a new broadcast edition. Simply Randy. But I know On the Road to Dixie is one of them. I cannot remember the names of the other ones. There are names that rotate. Generally, the time slot is Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. So watch for them on the Randy Rhodes profile. Become his friend, and you'll get notified when he is live. And take the broadcast and share them all over Facebook where you think it's appropriate to put them. And if you're not sure about putting it in a group, make sure you ask the admin of a group where you want to post it, if it's okay. I do the opposite. I just usually slam it into a bunch of different groups, and the ones that let it go, and the ones that don't, we just try to send it to everywhere we can. Susanna Cardo says, stay out of Facebook jail, Dave. Well, I've been in Facebook jail for the bulk of my 15 years now. That they were actually very nice. They built me a very nice suite as a ranking member of Facebook jail, and probably on the Facebook jail prisoner government committee. So there. I have spent probably half of my 15 years figuring out ways to defeat Facebook jail whenever I get it, except for when I get suspended. And I've only been suspended from Facebook twice. They knocked me out for a week. Actually, it's now 3 times, because the Super Tuesday Facebook outage that Facebook went down, I got knocked off, and I was off for about 2.5 days before I got back on. And that was a pain in the neck. I almost had to call my congresswoman and our state senators and have them jump in on my behalf. I've gotten my t-shirt, 30 days is hard time. Yep. I have a somewhere around here, one of my favorite hot cold mugs. I have a blue thermal one that my wife says just out of Facebook jail, or just paroled from Facebook jail veteran. I don't know what my rank would be. I've been in it so much. It's fun, to mess with it and figure out how to get around it. How I really get around it is I went over to X and building a following over there. So if you're on X, follow me at Boogie WT Bull, Shift 2 Boogie WT Bull over there on X or Twitter. Rumor has it he may be going back to the name Twitter. I think he should have left it at Twitter. That's Twitter. Okay. Because I told everybody he bought it, he liberated it. And then, to be honest with you, in some cases now it's slipping back to be just as bad as Twitter was when Jack Dorsey was running Twitter. They have a content moderation committee. I don't know who it's made up of. I tried to figure out how to get noticed by people or how to tweet the right people or message the right people at Twitter to try to get on it, and I was unsuccessful. But now they have tagged me twice in tweets of mine and tweets that I retweeted of people that say Taylor Swift has not said that she is going to leave the United States if Donald Trump is reelected, and that Miley Cyrus said it but recanted it. Well, my response to it is it really doesn't matter if they didn't say it or they retweeted, it does matter if they didn't say it and we post something saying that they did. But the same thing is if they recanted it, to me, it really doesn't make any sense because they said that they were going to leave, and odds are that neither one, Miley Cyrus or Taylor Swift, would leave the United States, because I don't know where either one of them think they could go on Earth aside from the United States that they could live as well as they do here in the United States. And if they did manage to go someplace else, they went to England, the income taxes over there are so high that most of their people are over here as naturalized citizens, paying less taxes here, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, it's coming up on 11:30, and that's the end of today's Boogie with the Bull. Maybe Taylor or Miley, I guess, could buy an island. Well, I don't know. I just I laugh at when most of these people say that they're going to leave the United States if he gets elected, because the truth is none of them are going to leave. Whoopi Goldberg said before the 2016 election that if he got elected, she was leaving, and she's still here. Cher said the same thing. I'm sure Rob Reiner was on Twitter at the time saying something. I hope it wasn't that if Trump wins, he's going to set himself on fire. As far as I'm concerned, he should have been booted from Twitter for a very long time, if not permanently, for posting that tweet. I'm a firm believer that if enough people read something that someone in Hollywood or some other type of celebrity says they're going to do, even if they have no intention of doing it, it gives people an idea and something that they need to do. Like the guy in New York or in the park across from the Trump hearing. He didn't go to New York to light himself on fire because of the Donald Trump hearing. He went to New York to pass out his manifesto, his pamphlet, whatever you want to call it, and then lit himself on fire, probably as a means of getting himself noticed. And it's very sad that anyone in the United States of America, and I don't care if you're a legal citizen or an illegal immigrant, if you think the only way to get yourself recognized and get your point out is to martyr yourself by setting yourself on fire, don't. Matter of fact, if you're near that point, come on a true Boogie with the Bulls, and I'll set up a panel that agrees with you and a panel that doesn't agree with you. And we'll just have a fun time drinking coffee and sharing everybody's thoughts out on the internet. That's what we are trying to do here. So if you liked today's broadcast, please mark it that you liked it. Share it anywhere you can on Facebook that we didn't share it. Please share it. If you want to share it, but you don't want to share it from Facebook, go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and share from there. Like I said, I hope to, by the end of next week, actually have the deal inked with Rumble that will get us over there. We are all set and ready to do it this time, meaning we are all set and ready to do it this time, but we're not going to do it until probably the 2nd or 3rd of May, so that we get the month of May. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin, you're not. Thanks for watching the broadcast. This is the part of the broadcast where I tell you you have been watching Boogie with the Bull Red Friday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. The views expressed on today's broadcast are those of the people behind the mics and cameras on your screen and those of you in the live chat that make a comment. Equal time is given to responsible parties with opposing views. You'll be invited to come on to a broadcast and discuss with either the person who made the comment in the live chat that you don't agree with, or made a comment on the broadcast, to come on to the broadcast, and the two of you can have a polite conversation and try to convince each of you why one of you is right and one of you is wrong. There are no right answers. There are no wrong answers. There's just answers waiting to be given. And that's what we created Boogie with the Bull for. So the next one is Monday morning. Actually, there might be one tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm not sure. Actually, no, there's not one scheduled tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. No rare Saturday morning Boogie this week. So the next one is Monday morning at 10 a.m. with Randy and I. And then Tuesday night, the 30th, Susan Accardo, along with Bonnie Johnson, and Jenn Woodruff is going to moderate the program, and I'm going to host the broadcast and live produce. We'll be talking about the traffic situation of children, adults, whatever else they're doing that can be trafficked, and hope to make you a little bit more aware of the situation. And then maybe if we all discuss it enough and look at it enough, we will be able to one day bring an end to it. So I don't know. Jonathan Thomas says, I'm not a supporter of any of the other candidates. Okay. People are entitled to have their own view and their own support of any candidate they want. Okay. You are more than allowed to do that. You are more than not allowed. You are allowed to make comments showing support of any candidate that you want. It may become a topic of conversation. But first and foremost, I'm a conservative patriot. I don't like the term Republican, so I've been calling myself a conservative patriot for years now. The politics are conservative patriot based. Our groups are conservative patriot based. My profile is conservative patriot based. Most of my friends are conservative patriots on Facebook. Some are not. But everybody is entitled to bring their own support for any candidate running, because more than sit here and say you can't talk about this candidate or that view or this view on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, the most important thing to do on November 5th is make sure you make time to go vote. I hope you vote red. I hope you vote for all the Republicans. But there are bad apples on the Republican side. There are bad apples on the Democrat side. So I hope that you vote, and you vote for the right person that you think is going to do the best job for you. I will continue to say to Democrats, I don't think that a second term of Joe Biden is going to be any better than the first term of Joe Biden. And if you want that, then vote for Joe Biden. If you're an illegal immigrant and you somehow got a hold of a ballot and were allowed to vote in this election, I hope your ballots are reviewed and confiscated. Your vote is taken away, and that's it. If you want to vote, become a citizen. If you don't want to become a citizen, then don't vote. But if you don't want to vote, you can be a citizen, and your right is not to vote as well. But stay out of the way of the people, the candidates, and on both sides, and the people that support those candidates. And, it's like my dad used to say to my brother, if you don't vote, you can't bitch. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Well, we have thousands of parties in the United States of America, Suzanne. My brother and I even started the Let's Party for a few years until I stopped it when the majority of people in 1 year that wanted to register with the Let's Party kept asking me, what's a Let's? And I used to have to say to them, Let's Party. Hear it? And then they go, oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it's like a comedian telling you a joke. If you don't get the punchline and they have to explain the punchline to you, then it wasn't worth you hearing the joke. But anyway, I am Dave Glovin. You are not. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. One more time, we'll come up here. Double V's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. I do want to apologize. I did frantically put my headset down and jump to the door because I had to answer the door, and that's what happened. We do the best that we can when we're on with the equipment that we have and where we are, and sometimes I just have to drop my headset and step over to another part of the bedroom studio to take care of something. And you do hear Delilah bark every once in a while. Delilah is the executive producer of all the Boogie with the Bull broadcast. Every once in a while you see her. But anyway, I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. Go have lunch. Go eat breakfast. Scroll Facebook, make comments, join our groups, and make comments and post in them. And then, like I said, whatever you do, make sure you are getting ready to vote for candidates and vote legally here in the United States of America on November 5th. I'm Dave Glovin. You're not. And the last Double B's for victory meets this Boogie with the Bull broadcast. Boogie with the Bull, Red Morning. Boogie with the Bull, Red